take a moment to find your center in your spine, in your breath. Find the center of your breath. Find the center of your mind. The center is not moving. The wheel is spinning, but the center is not moving. Another way to say find your center is take a moment to come home, to be at home in yourself, here and now. We're almost never living here and now. We're always then and there. All the ideas about myself is then and there. It's not here and now. All the qualities, all the successes and failures is then and there. Even the reflection of myself in the mirror is not here and now. So our whole life has been based on then and there. So to be present is an art, is a great art, is a science. Like for a musical instrument to be in tune, you have the scale, the middle is in tune. This way it's flat, too loose. This way it's sharp, too tight. So there's an art of tuning. But we're not tuning for the sake of tuning. Tuning in order to live a life in harmony, to be in harmony with yourself, moment to moment. To be in harmony with your environment, with time. Different time requires a different energy. We can't be the same way all the time. All the time peaceful, all the time, whatever it is. If one fixed approach doesn't work. We must be able to adjust, to adapt to the correct time, correct timing, space and time. So, to be at home, it's not a building. Some building or some objects or some people. To be at home is an inner experience. You feel, I'm at home. I can put down my guns, I can put down my armor, take off my armor, take off the masks. I can breathe more deeply. Only when you're at home will you experience true peace, true love, and true happiness. Otherwise, what's happened? When I'm not at home, there's this idea something is missing. I am not enough. This moment is not enough. Something is, we have this underlying idea, something is not enough, something is missing. So then it's impossible to be at home because we're all the time trying to get that, to fill the hole. I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not skinny enough, whatever it is. We've been habituated to this idea of I'm not enough, but if I work hard and I try hard and I do a good job, then in the future, I will be enough. Life will be enough. But the question is, it sounds good, right? It sounds good. Something's missing, I have to fix it. When I fix it, then I'll be happy. But in practice, is it true? Does it work? It would seem that this idea of not enough just keeps growing. No matter how much you get, still not enough. It's impossible to fill that hole. No matter how hard we try, no matter how much we achieve. So this is the path of not enough. And this perpetuates itself indefinitely. So what is the solution? This path of enough. This moment is enough. I am enough right now as I am. The moment you were born, the seed is enough. The seed is whole. The whole, you have a tiny seed, it's whole. Then the seed sprouts. It has the roots and the shoot. At this moment also the seed is whole. The plant is whole. Then it grows a little more branches. In that moment also the plant is whole. Not only when it's flowering and fruiting, in every stage of development of the plant is whole, is enough. So then what about me? So when I'm in the embryo, am I enough? Am I whole? Or am I incomplete? You see, we have this idea of incomplete, that it's always incomplete then. And this has been, we're being preyed upon by the consumer industry, that we turn into consumers, so then we feel we're not good enough. We need these objects or services in order to be good enough. And so they prey on that. They feed that misunderstanding of enoughness in order to sell things to us, to keep us in a state of fear, anxiety, tension, where we're disconnected from ourselves, don't feel at home. We're told, but if you have this, then you'll feel good. But it doesn't work, it would seem. So this means radical, that I am enough. But this I is not just me. This I means everything everywhere. The universe is enough in this moment. All the planets, all the oceans, all the rivers and mountains. This is a general statement. It's not just about me, because I don't exist separate from the universe. So in this moment where you feel I'm enough, then you can relax. Otherwise, it's like a fire. Have to keep going and reaching and chasing after something. But we have to consider carefully, if I get all those things, then will it be enough? If all we know is the feeling not enough, then even you get that, you still feel not enough. If the whole goal has been trying to get there, keep going, then even if you arrive, you don't know how to arrive. Because the whole life you've been practicing how to get there. So even if you get those things, you miss it. Because automatically you're reaching for what's next, something else, something more. So we must practice the art of being present. It's like you're dreaming of some vacation or some delicious meal. And then you arrive at the table and you're thinking about what's next, something else. Before you know it, the meal is gone. You didn't even taste it. Maybe you took some pictures and everything. And so what is the life? Is it a show? Is it a show? Is it a performance? Or is it just to be savored, to be tasted, to be experienced? So to experience is only possible in the present moment. So this is why we recommend to dedicate a little time and energy to refocus, recenter yourself in the present moment. Life is happening here and now. Life is not happening in my idea about the future. What is this idea of the future? Is your idea about the future the future? No. Nobody shares the same idea of the future. Everyone in this room has completely different idea. We take the little fragment of reality, of the totality of existence, means all the creatures at every level of the microcosm and macrocosm of all time that have ever existed. That's the life. So I see a little piece of that, these little fragments that are distorted by my senses and my preferences in my mind, and then I construct, based on probability, some idea about the future, mostly centered around me and my preferences. Is that the future? Is my idea of the future the future? No. It's a fantasy. And nobody else, even the people living with you, even you talk to someone all day, every day, they have a completely different idea of what is the future. So, what about the past? Is my idea of the past the past? The past is everything that's happened everywhere. So I pick and choose some different pieces and I build up some story. Is that the past? No, not this, not the past. So we can't live in the future, we can live in the past. It's a fantasy. So to be at home, to be in tune, to be centered, this is the foundation of existence. It's not a luxury. It's not like a seasoning on the side. It is the main course. We're talking now about the main course, not something to put off until you finish your career and your family and everything, your studies. It's too late. If you sacrifice the life for some idea, for some ideal, then it's too late. So the training, the practice is how to be present. We're not practicing yoga and meditation. We're practicing how to be present, how to be stable and grounded, how to be at ease, how to be focused, how to listen, how to be centered, how to breathe. This is essential education. Without this, then everything else is empty. Tasteless, meaningless. So, this is my opinion. You have to consider, we have so much information now. So many people saying, do this, eat this, don't eat that, go here, don't go there. So, based on your understanding, you have to consider if these teachings are true, and then if it's how that fits with your daily life. Because you're the only one living your life. You know how you wake up, how do you feel? No? When you're with other people, how do you feel? When you're with yourself, how do you feel? You know. If it's good, then it's good, nothing to do. No problem. You go to work, you get in your car, you have in nature, how do you feel? Are you able to be present? Are you able to enjoy life? Then okay. Right, then no problem. But if there's something is off, something, your health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, relationships, work, creativity, something is off, then I tell you 100% it has to do with this. This is the cause of all illness, disconnected from yourself. And the good news is that it's not that difficult to tune an instrument. It's not. It only takes a few minutes, 30 minutes. Maybe when you get good, even 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes is enough. But it's not enough just to tune every now and then. You must make it a habit to be in tune. It's like someone playing sports, and sometimes they hit the ball and it goes in. Sometimes they hit it and it hits yourself in the head. Sometimes you hit it, it goes out of bounds. It's not, you can't live like that. You have to get consistency in the sports, in music. You imagine you pick up your instrument and then only 50% of the time you play the right note. Other 50% of the time, who knows? It's not reliable. It's not a way, you can't do that. So in the same way, we must cultivate that rhythm, that trust. We trust a good musician, trust a good chef knows when they pick up the knife, they're not going to cut themselves. They're going to chop everything properly, everything. Zucchini, you chop it this way. An onion, you chop that way. Tofu, everything has a way to chop. So once you've done the training, then you know you can trust yourself. You know how to respond. You don't have to think about it all the time. Oh my God, what should I do now? You know it. In the same way, you must make it a habit to be present, to be in tune, to be grounded, to be at ease. Then you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. Some unexpected things will happen in life. That you can expect. You can expect unexpected things will happen. Difficulties will happen. Challenges will happen. Beautiful things will happen. But if you're not present, not only are you distracting yourself, you can't meet the challenge, you can't meet the beautiful moments also. If you're not grounded, if you're disconnected, then not only are you missing out on learning and evolving and growing from the challenges, but you're also going to miss out on the beautiful moments. So, tuning is easy. Tuning is simple. But you have to make it a habit. Questions? Number 1. How do you break bad tech habits in only 6 days? So in 6 days, if you do something all day, every day, and 6 days you don't do it, then it creates a kind of, it creates a forced shift where you can start to feel something different. That you're able to see things differently. So this is not going to break the habit, but this is a crack. And the crack is needed. You can see through the crack. So you can see, oh, okay, it's not, no, until there's some crack, then it feels absolute. We're absolutely attached to a certain behavior pattern, certain, like a, Pavlovian dog, where just boom, free moment phone, video, like that. There's no gap. But in 6 days of connection, of breath, of nature, of silence, then you see the possibility. You can taste, you can feel in your nervous system, you can feel a shift. And so this is only an invitation. This is a pointer. This is a taster, sample meal. It takes weeks and months to shift deep habits. That's why we recommend 100 days challenge. When you go for 100 days, you commit to a certain practice, daily tuning practice, and you do it every day for 100 days. Within that 3-month period, then you can have some real shift, more permanent. Anyway, the seed is planted. But the seed requires certain conditions to grow. And so, also, the question is, do you want to break the habit? Right here, we're not forcing anyone to do anything. I mean, while you're here, we force you to do everything. But the point is what is your intention? What is your goal? Right? Most people, their goal has to do with money and status and everything. But if your goal is to be present, then you'll really put time and energy into that. Then whatever you're doing, you think about that. Then you really dedicate, you can dedicate yourself, right, to achieve that goal. We all have some goal. Our life is flowing according to our goals. Most of our goals were given to us by society, just passed on, unconscious goals, chasing after something. Many people say goal is to be happy. If it were true, you would really go for it. You would really find those things, and you would really take time to do that. But our goal is more about security and financial things, and so our whole life, 24 hours, you have energy for 24 hours. So how are you spending that energy? We have to take accountability for how we use our time and energy. We use the time and energy according to the goals. So then we have to question, what is really my goal? Many people say, my goal, I want to be happy. But it's just on the lips. It's not from the heart. It's not at the deep level. So if my goal, also breaking a bad habit is not a goal. This is another problem. We make the goal something negative. I don't want to be so angry. I don't want to be afraid. No, the goal has to be something positive. I want to be more present. You see, the life doesn't flow behind a negative statement. Not, I want to be more angry. What do you want in your life? The question is, what do you want in your life? It's not about wanting or not wanting technology. Technology can be used like a knife. It can be used to kill, it can be used to save a life, it can be used to make a delicious food. So problem is not technology. Problem is, what is the focus in your life? What is the goal? What is the dominant theme that you want to bring to this world? Usually also our goal is something we want. I want this from life. But what can we give? What are we giving? What are we creating in this world? Like if when you take care of the garden, then you get an abundance, not only for yourself, but for those around you. Right, so what service what can we bring? Not just taking from the world, but then how can we be of service? By serving others and nature and stuff, then we generate so much love and kindness and creativity and unexpected lessons. We learn so many lessons about ourselves. It helps to break down our pride and jealousy and all of this by serving others. So breaking the tech habit can't be an end in itself. If it is, then it requires immense willpower, but nobody has that willpower. These days, we're so fragile. It's true. We're so fragile. Little discomfort, immediately give up, something like this. Run away, distract. So that's why the yoga practice, that's why the daily practice is for what? Not for a sexy body, but to have a powerful willpower, that your willpower is fully, you have that full fire behind you, that whatever you do, you come with your full self. Whatever you think about, the full self. Without the willpower, we're impotent. Nowadays, most people are impotent also, it's true. Like biologically. Because our hormonal system is completely shot. Like a plant with no roots, or a plant potted in shitty soil with no nutrients, no life force, disconnect, no sunlight. Like this. I'm not trying to be negative, but we have to investigate then what's the cause of this situation now? And then how we can shift that if you want to. No obligation. No obligation really of anyone to do anything. But I want to point out from the yogic perspective, our situation, why we're in this situation now. So the bad tech habit is more of a symptom than a cause. This is a symptom of disconnection. So you can't, it's not about fighting the symptom. What we need is to nourish the essence. How can I be more loving? Once we become more loving, we start to love, respect ourselves, then we want to use our time to do good things. Limited time. You have a limited time here in this life. How will you use this time? The phone, the tech thing is an escape because we're exhausted. Exhausted, disconnected, empty. No, many people have done everything, you did everything you were told. You did your studies, you got the thing, you got the job, and then it's empty. It's like, fuck. Now what? You did everything that you're told. It's very successful people. But then it's empty. And so then, now what? Okay, distraction. Distract ourselves from the emptiness of the success. So the question is, what is the valuable, what is the true purpose that we can really put our energy into? That makes you feel passionate, alive, that makes your juices flow, that makes your heart sing, that makes you get in the morning time, you jump out of bed, you can't wait. To pick up the book with the next chapter of your life. You can't wait for that unfolding. What will unfold? Otherwise, this again, the same bullshit, going through the motions like that. So of course, going through the motions, then pick up the phone. You watch someone doing something, someone else. Nowadays, in the past time, there were only a few stories and myths and legends that were passed down. And then we would use those myths and legends and stories to understand our own life. Nowadays, we're drowning in other people's stories. We don't even know our own life. All we know is other people's stories. Famous people thing, and then fake stories and shows and movies. We know that so well. We don't even know ourselves at all. There's no space. There's no extra. The data, RAM is full. RAM is full with all the bullshit. No space, no energy. And now we're trying to interpret our life from the Disney. We're trying to force ourselves to live like a Disney life, a Hollywood life. Instead of learning from these myths and then using that to help guide our life, we're trying to force our life into some Disney story. Will it work? Does this work? Second part of the question. Why a time detox? Because we're living in a false system of time. Right? Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 is not real time. Weekends and holidays is not real time. The snails, the fish, the river, the planets are not living in that. All of existence is living in the lunar cycle of time. But now we're living in a consumer time. So as a result, we're existing in a false time, then everything is false. The whole rhythm is off. Our whole rhythm is off. Always living in the past and future. This is not real time. So for this reason, we have to detox from the false time. In this system of time, we're never present, we're always rushing to get somewhere, running away from something. So this time system we're strangling ourselves with the false system of time. Question. What do you think is the biggest misconception about yoga today? Can the answer be everything? Is everything an appropriate answer? I said the other day at the meal, yoga, what is yoga? Yoga is a state of being, the state of oneness, a state of wholeness. Yoga is a state of being, to be in a state of yoga. Life is in a state of yoga. Right? Secondary meaning of yoga, the path for arriving at that state of being. Right? Again, the focus is not on the path. The focus is on the experience of being in that state of interconnected flow. Right? But then you have secondary meaning of yoga, the path for arriving at that state of being. Right? There are 4 major paths of yoga: bhakti, jnana, karma, and raja yoga. 4 paths. Bhakti is the path of the heart, devotion. Jnana is the path of transcending the mind through non-duality, mind training. The 3rd path, karma yoga, service, selfless service. This is a very, summarized form. None of those paths are doing physical practice. None of those paths are doing asana. 4th path is raja yoga, the path of effort, training. In this path, there are hundreds of different techniques: mantra, meditation, pranayama, cleansing practices, etc. One of those is the physical practice. One of many of a path for arriving at that state is the physical practice. But that only works within the whole system. Now they've cut that out, and they've made that the end all, the be all end all, the beginning and the end. So it's not correct. It's like comparing apples to a dictionary. I mean, there are apples to I don't even know. There's no way, the word they're using is the word yoga. And from the surface, the movements look the same, but inside it's completely empty or it's distorted to the point where now people are making themselves feel bad. I'm not good at yoga. Like, the point is, we have to prove something to yoga. No, it becomes a performance, a competition, a circus, right? And so yoga is this subtle science and art of existence. And so it's so far removed, it's hard to talk about it. But so everything. I mean, even the idea that yoga is a bunch of people in a room doing the same thing at the same time. If the goal is to be deeply rooted and grounded in yourself, how can you do that when other people are around? You're looking around, you're judging, you're trying to keep up with what's next, right? And then you can't possibly be in your own rhythm under those circumstances. So yoga was never meant to be done in a room with a bunch of people. You can learn it, but the real practice is alone, in your rhythm, where you can really feel. It's more about feeling than about doing or performing or proving. Question. Labor made a human of monkey. Should we do more labor in our life? Do you think about integrating more physical work in the retreat program? Some would say that mushrooms made a human out of a monkey. Some would say that it's the brain developed through chemistry. I mean, chemistry is essential. So all of life is serving its function. Right? Is the bird laboring when it builds its nest and it goes out hunting for worms to feed its children? No, the animals don't conceive of their existence as a labor. until recently, it's still now, every species on the planet is involved with basic function of life. Right? Basic function means protecting yourself, procreating, raising your children, and building your home, etc. So all the creatures, the worms, everyone is doing that. Now as human beings, we've been told that you don't have to do that. Someone does it for you. We don't raise our children. We don't build our houses. We don't build our clothes. We don't grow our food. We don't cook our food, anything. And so now they say, now you don't have to do that, so you can do whatever you want and you'll be happy. But actually, it would seem that the real joy of life is to be part of life, to participate in life. It gives meaning, it gives a meaning. And so now as a result, we're not involved in our life. It's like we're on the sidelines. Life's been taken care of by someone else. So now you can do what you want. But it's meaningless. And so it's important to make your own clothes, to grow your own food, to prepare your own food. No, to be part of life is essential. I don't think that working in this, it's like labor is more of an economic concept, like working for the sake of working. Whereas this is more about participating in the cycle of life, to be part of the cycle of life. Right, also we reflect, nowadays we've become very fragile, we have so much trauma, but imagine hundreds of years ago, right, people were dying left and right, things happening, no one knows why, total destruction like this, but they weren't traumatized. They weren't living in constant state of trauma. Right, so what's happened? What's changed? No, we're no longer living life. Somehow now we're on the sidelines and we're living from some ideal. It should be like this. Back then we had no idea, this idea that I should have this, I should have that, these different rights and everything. And so this is why this natural, coming back to the natural relationship, coming back to the earth, gardening, getting your hands in the dirt, growing a garden, watching the seeds sprout, watching the plants grow, spending time with the children and babies and animals. Right? All of this is so important in retuning ourselves with the flow of life. I think also now in the modern time there's this whole push towards academia and learning things, but nobody can do anything anymore. Right? Before we had these trade schools, like learning how to do something physical, like learning how to do electricity or plumbing, learning how to sew. It's so meaningful to make something. Nowadays, all we're making is we're thinking and stressful, but to build something, whether it's practical or creative, learning how to solder and then soldering different pieces of metal, getting scrap metal and soldering, making something out of metal. We need to create. Labor is like for the society or for the machine, feeding the machine, but creation, right? To participate in the act of creation, writing poetry. There's so many ways that we can be part of life. So I think that the key is yes. I think that I interpret this as yes. It's important that we engage with life, like raw and wild. This is also, we talk about rewilding. Rewilding. We've become so tame and like, what do you call that? Where we're not really expressing ourselves. We don't have that wild primal, we hold ourselves back, and over time we've become like docile, and so this is why going to, they have these workshops and retreats where you go and you live in the wild, you learn primal skills, and you get back in touch with that primal energy. That's why this dance also is so important. Not a controlled dance, but to really tap back into that wild energy. Also, psychedelics can help with that as well. Because we've become so civilized that we can't go to the toilet and go to sleep. You know, in the civilized world, the level of insomnia is out the roof. The level of constipation. So this means who's primitive and who's civilized then? In Cambodia, it's very difficult. Life is in the village is challenging, but people are smiling, people are present, smiling from their hearts. It's very different. And so we've lost a lot of our power and our gifts, and we've lost the capacity to feel, to enjoy. And so I think that we need to examine that, and that it's by doing things, not just sitting around on the computer, but engaging with life, to build something, to grow something, to create something. It will bring you joy, for sure. Find what it does. Find what brings you joy. Maybe it's making food, preparing a beautiful meal. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's some building or creating something, making clothes, sewing clothes, weaving or knitting or sewing or something. But it's essential that we include as part of our daily life some creation process. Why my parents don't love me. Why I feel like an orphan with live parents. But the real love doesn't come from another person. It can come from a boyfriend or from your boss or from the government or something. The real love, right, that's just attention or getting manipulation or something like that. Like, okay, I love you because of this or that. But the real love is in your cells, in your organs, in your glands, in the sunlight, in the river. And so no matter what the circumstance, whether we had love from our parents or not, right, eventually we're pushed to find the source of love, to find that love within ourselves. And so if we are too much babied by our parents, then sometimes we're not able to break off and make that journey. And so whatever the conditions of our life, where we're born and our parents and such, is somehow perfect for what we need to learn and discover in this lifetime. So if we see very clearly that it's not coming from the parents, and in the end, it can't come. It can't come from another person. And so that will push us to try to discover what is the source of love. Where is love? Is it in getting approval from others? Right? Or is it in being deeply at home and in life? Is it about a connection with life? Nowadays, we're generally restricting love to human relationship. But this is terrible misunderstanding. And also because now we have so much baggage and so much confusion in human relationship, better first to experience the love in nature. Now observe the love in nature. Observe the trees standing up when the sun is shining, or the water flowing, something. First we have to tune into that essence of love, which is alive in everything. Your blood is love. Your breath is love. So the love is flowing in you. You are love. It's not something you have or you get. It's the essence of what you are. In your cells, the atoms are love. The energy released when you split an atom is love. The atomic bomb is that energy of love. Love is the basic energy of the universe. That which is holding the planet together, right? The gravity is a form of love. The cohesiveness of your physical body and cells is a form of love. The pressure in your breath is love. So love is the movement, the dance of the universe. And so in the end, we have to find a way to connect with that. The parents can be a hurdle too much love, then we're addicted to that, we need that, we try to find that, we try to force everyone to act like our mom or our dad, and we're not able to stand on our own. Not enough love, then it's also a problem. So no matter what the circumstances, we have to discover that source of love within and within nature. Then once we learn how to embody that quality, then we can express it with anyone, anywhere, all the time. It becomes a natural to live from that place of love. But nowadays, we have a very much Hollywood, Disney concept about love. Love means blowing kisses and boxes of chocolates and cheesy cards and things. This is nothing. This is a manipulation. This is a business deal. I love you because of X, because you're beautiful, because you're nice, because you give this to me. But that's conditional. Real love is not conditional. Even parental love is conditional. So X loves Y because of Z. Right? So first, as long as there's because you're beautiful, but then you get in an accident, you become ugly. Now I don't love you anymore. I love you because you're nice. Then you become mean. I love you because you listen to rock and roll. No, you see so now we have to remove the condition. So what's left? X loves Y. I love you. But what's the problem here? Okay, I love you, but I don't love her. I don't love him. I don't love that. So there's still two categories. So you can pass into the category of not love. So a subject, if love has a subject, also it's conditional. So remove the subject. What remains? I love. This is also a problem, because then the love requires me, like, to decree it. Now it's love. But actually, love exists separate from any subject. So then take away the subject, what remains is love. Love is. You have to tap in with that love that is. It's not created by you. It's not attached to an object. It has no condition. That's the real love. Everything else is a game. So all the challenges from the universe are a gift. They're pointing us in the direction we need to go. Suffering itself is grace. Suffering is not the problem. Suffering is like you have some pain in your body. Is the pain the problem? No, the pain is the messenger telling you have to pay attention to something. If you don't have that message, then you don't pay attention. And the same in life, we have suffering. Suffering is the pointer, pointing us in the direction we have to go. Without that, we'd keep going in the wrong direction. Question. Any advice on how to hold a routine? I'm certain I have ADHD and find maintaining routines challenging. When life gets busy, all routines can fall away and the inner critic can get loud. So, every day, still, even when you're busy, probably you brush your teeth and take a shower and wash your clothes. So the best way to do it is you have to link the practice with the fixed time of day. Ideally, first thing in the morning. When you wake up, first thing, you know exactly what you're gonna do. It's not like, I wanna do some yoga and meditation. No, you've made a commitment. Every day I have 30 minutes. In those 30 minutes, I do 12 minutes of postures, 6 minutes of breathing, 12 minutes of stillness. Those postures, I do this one, then that one, then that one, then that one. It's fixed. There's no choice. If you leave it up to choice and random, then you get overwhelmed and you don't do anything. You do exactly the same postures in exactly the same order for exactly the same length of time. 1 minute, you put on your timer 1 minute. Then you do it. You just start and you go 1 minute. Then hold your breath. Okay, next one. 1 minute, boom. You do it, and then the breathing comes, you just do it. Then the meditation, you put on the timer at 12 minutes, and then you sit. It's a fixed time. Everything is fixed. There's no wiggle room. If you have extra time, do something you can add to it. Oh, today I have more time. I want to try this and do that. Sure. But you never subtract from it. You make a commitment. That's the 100 Days Challenge. You make a commitment. You set up the program, and then you just run it again and again and again. After you've done it 20 times, 25 times, 30 times, it will do itself. It won't, no effort. It's more effort to not do it. But you have to first make that commitment. You have to consider very carefully, how much time do I have? If you only have 15 minutes, then okay, you build this sequence for 15 minutes. No matter what, you can do it. Even 30 minutes. Say one day you're busy, then you set your alarm 30 minutes earlier, you wake up, you take a cold shower, hot shower, immediately do your practice. Before eating, before talking, before looking at your phone. It becomes a habit. You start the day like that, no matter what. And if you are busy, then you just get up that much earlier and do it, because you're not losing the time. It's not lost. You will definitely feel better every time you do it. When you warm up, you'll play better. You'll be more alive. And so once you've done it 30, 50 times, 100 times, right? In 3 months, 100 times. Then it's such a strong momentum behind it. That the laziness and the bullshit, there's no excuse. You know, you do it. Otherwise, we have 1,000 excuses. I don't know, maybe this, what do I feel like? Oh, what should I do today? What do I feel like? This is the craziest shit. Right? Really, it doesn't matter what you set the core thing and you just do it. What do you feel like? This isn't about your feelings. It's about your cells, your blood, your organs, your glands, your hormones. This is the garden is the way you know how to take care of the garden, and you just do it. You take that responsibility. You have a big garden, you have to take responsibility. Tomatoes need this water, they need certain sunlight. The lettuce needs a certain water, like that. So in the same way, you start something out, be conservative, do something you know you can do no matter what. Then you build it, you add more, but you don't need to do more and more things. Instead, you increase the time. I'm doing this posture for 1 minute, now I do for 1 minute, 20 seconds. My breathing is 1 minute, then I increase 1 minute, 30 seconds. And it's exact. Meditation, 12 minutes, okay, now I increase 13 minutes. After another few weeks, I increase to 14 minutes, like that. We're playing the long game. It's not like because it's not about proving that you can do it. This is the other thing. Your daily practice is not proving that you can do it. It's the way that you feel in your life when you do the practice. If it works, if you feel better, more alive, more clear, more creative, then that feeling becomes addictive. To feeling lethargic, disconnected, bored, dull, right? Who wants to go through life like that? And so that's why it's got to be exact. Make an exact plan. We're working on an app that's really going to help with this. I created spreadsheets before and everything, but it has to be like a fixed plan. It's like you're reprogramming your nervous system, your hormones, your mind. In order to do that, you have to be exact. Question, is there a way to practice a time detox on my own? How can I integrate these lessons about my relationship with time? I mean, digital detox is possible. Time detox, if you're not working, you can go camping in the woods. Don't bring a clock or time. Get back into cycle with the sunlight. Sunrises, sunsets. Right? Or you're traveling, you go and get a bungalow at the beach, and you lock the phone away. You can't trust yourself to have the phone. You have to lock it away somewhere. And then get back into natural time. It's good to do a general detox or cleanse every now and then. So that would mean fasting, like coconut fasting. Right? You rent a bungalow every day. You drink as many coconuts as you want. You drink plenty of water. You take a laxative, flush your system. You get sunlight. You go in the water. You get massage. You do your practice. Do journaling every day. Right? You can do a time detox, but you have to create parameters. You have to create a container for that. Because you can't just have an open-ended time detox, probably. Our way of life now, when I was living in the one community, there was a guy, Tom Brown Jr. You might have heard, he's read incredible books called The Tracker. He was trained by Native American from his childhood. He became like this big FBI person hunting tracker, but also he was teaching tracking, had a tracking school. in New Jersey where they were doing the very high level like wilderness. And this one woman somehow came out of the woods. She'd been 9 months there on her own, right, living in a shelter that she created with her hands and foraging and everything, her food. Right? It's very difficult. We can't do that now. Who can do that? So full-time detox is not possible, but go camping. Go camping for a week. You know, rent a bungalow by the beach for 5 days. And just be in the zone. Just be in the moment. Be in the flow. How can practice help with attachments? Attachment is the core function of the ego. Everything I see, I'm attached to it. I'm attached to what I like. I'm attached to what I don't like also. I'm attached to what I want. I'm attached to what I don't want. Because it's part of the me story. Everything in life, it's like I'm on the center stage of life, and life is happening around me, and so everything I see, I interpret from how it relates to me. Right? What's good is what's good for me. For example, a plane crashes somewhere in Africa, right? And I'm like, oh, who cares? I don't know that. But all of a sudden now a plane crashes and my family's on the plane, or someone I know is on the plane. Completely different reaction. So attachment is connected with the me. Attachment is the nature of me, the nature of myself. And so then we form certain habits and comfort and control. Right? Attachment is a form of control. And so the practice is, in the present moment, there's no I. Thus no attachment. So the practice is by cleaning our minds, our hearts, our bodies, then it becomes very smooth. Attachment is like a knot in your hair. But if you comb your hair again and again, it becomes very smooth. In the same way, if you clean your heart, you clean your mind, you clean your body, then all those old stories and preferences actually start to fade away, become more thin, lighter. So then you can be present. So the practice is cleaning. Attachments like dirty clothes, then as you clean your clothes, then the dirt goes away. Okay, lightning round. How do you integrate insight from meditation into relationships and workspaces? You do certain drills, right? Drills and exercises. How do you integrate what you've learned from the drill into the game when you're playing? Right? The integration is happening unconsciously. The integration is happening by sincerely participating in those drills and exercises. Then it becomes part of you. Then it naturally becomes a part of your life. Integration is not through forcing something or something. The real integration happens spontaneously and automatically because you have two things. Two things are necessary. One, you have to have the experience, like the understanding. There's a shift in understanding. Two is the feeling. There's a feeling attached to that. So the integration is not so much a conscious process of, I should do this, I should do that. It's that, like in meditation, right, I experience these different states, or light, or my body is light, whatever. And then in the daily life, it's a reframing of your whole paradigm. And so I like to use the image of updating a website, or updating the apps on your phone, right? Generally, there's updates only every couple weeks or months. But imagine you update your system every minute or every day. We start just once a day, you update your system. Based on your new experiences and understanding of the world, you have to update your system. You have to reinterpret all the old thoughts and emotions and everything. Everything has to be reinterpreted with the new understanding. So then you start to update once an hour. You start to update once every minute. Update means everything. The whole interpretation of the past, of our experiences is completely updated. Otherwise, we're existing in an outdated framework. And so this is, the practice itself is facilitating that integration. That's why movement, breath, stillness. The movement, the breath is smoothing, then the stillness is the integration. The integration is happening unconsciously through the practice. You say the tree has no anxiety and the leaves don't overthink. But the trees don't live in poverty and don't have a family to feed. The trees don't grow up in a war environment and need to survive every day. And if they do, they will also feel stress. How to regulate our nervous system under these conditions? So no, I think the trees do feel stress. They do feel stress in time of drought or too much sunlight, or there's not nutrients in the water, in the soil, everything. So I think trees are definitely sensitive. And the trees, what we say, every individual has the physical, the vital, body, heart, and mind. The tree also has mind. The tree is not randomly doing things. The tree is growing based on a very discrete functioning. And the tree does have the children that grow up underneath its shade, and they share nutrients and communicate. Now, for sure, we know the trees are as sensitive as we are, but the trees are rooted. Right now we have no roots. Now we're disconnected, and so to regulate our nervous system, we have to do that even under the best conditions. We have to learn how to regulate our nervous system. We've learned how to put on our face, to put on makeup. We've learned how to comb our hair. So now it's just like that, the same way. Now you have to learn how to take care of your nervous system. In the modern way of life, almost everything that we do is putting pressure on our nervous system. No? The way that we live, just sitting down all the time and not moving our bodies, right? Not breathing properly, overeating any type of food all day, every day, right? All of this is putting pressure on the nervous system. Right? Watching all these flashing lights on the phones where people are cheating and killing and stealing and everything. All this outrage and negativity, right? Feeling I'm not good enough and trying to buy stuff to feel good, right? This is deregulating the nervous system. So essentially, our modern way of life is deregulation. And so the question is, if we can put a nice face on, then is it possible through effort, proper understanding and effort, can I cultivate a beautiful nervous system? And so I would say that's what the science of yoga is about, is how the tools, the techniques, the understanding in order to cultivate a beautiful nervous system. And for sure we can do that. For sure. The same way the sports players are cultivating the strength and stamina and all of these things, speed, whatever. So now the system is set up. And these practices, the spinal tuning system, this is working with your nervous system, with your left brain, with your right brain, with your breath, with the pressure. That's exactly what we're doing. Now we're cultivating a healthy nervous system. So we just have to make that a priority. Everybody wants to look good. And we put a lot of money and time and effort to look good. But this is only on the superficial level. For sure. My teeth, superficial. My skin is superficial. My clothing is superficial. How much money you spend on that? How much time? You go to the manicure, the pedicure, the haircut, the massage, all this skincare, everything is the superficial level. So nervous system is not the superficial level. Nervous system is a deeper level. So then how much should we invest on that level? Right? If we 100%, we can do it. It just requires that becomes something important. Right? Nobody would walk outside with their face look terrible, their clothes all tattered, oozing, pussy, bloody, but we're walking around with our heart in a total disrepair, totally flaw. Our mind is a total mess. like a junkyard. But physically, we wouldn't dare to go out looking like that. But mentally, emotionally, we're not taking care of ourselves. But we think, oh, it's not invisible, no one can see. But that's not true. It's not invisible. You can see. You can see it in the body language. You can see in someone's eyes. You can hear it in their tone of voice and how they speak. You can see in how they carry their body. It's not invisible. And so the question is, we've put all of our time and energy into superficial level. That's okay. But we can at least put a little time and energy into the deeper level. Into maintain, not just combing the hair, comb your nervous system. Not just wash your clothes, wash your heart. Not just organize your room and your phone, organize your mind. Then see if it has a positive effect. For sure it will, I can promise you, I promise it. It will have a positive effect. I am finding it difficult to not live in a planned future while wanting to build an authentic life. How can practice help? Planning is one of the functions of life. No problem with planning. How many minutes do you have to plan a day? You plan and then it's done. But people aren't planning and finishing. They're planning and replanning and questioning their plans and planning. No, when you're in tune, then the moment comes, it's not, you understand, okay, I do like this, and then you drop it and then you start living life. But the problem is that people are just stuck in planning and replanning and unplanning and this and that. No, the planning, when it comes, boom, it comes, download, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Then you have the plan. Once you have the blueprint for the house, you don't need to make another blueprint every 5 minutes or question the plans. So no, maybe like this or like that. No, that's the problem is, planning is fine, but how many minutes of the day should planning take up? How many minutes does it take to plan how to go to the store and how to do? Once you've done it once or twice, you know what to do. So the planning, it is absurd. There's nothing to be planned. When it's time to plan, you plan, fully plan. Your full energy going into planning. How many minutes of the day will that take up? But instead, we're planning it's all day. Instead of living life, planning becomes a distraction and a way of avoiding living life, is what we're talking about. So, no, for sure, plan. We make a plan. But the plan is not so much my plan. It's more like an intuitive understanding. It's more of a co-creation with life. Because it's not just about my plans, it's about feeling into what's growing now. Right? The tree is not planning when to fruit and flower. It's a part of the natural timing. So the practice is to be in tune and rhythm in your timing. Then naturally, it's like you get this impulse and things happen in the right time. So planning is fine. It's not like to be present means you stick your head in the dirt and you just ignore everything going around you. No, to be present is more like a jazz musician that's so in the flow. They're just, a sports player in the game is just in the flow. They're not planning which foot should I put first, like how should I kick the ball. They're not planning, they're living it in the flow. Why no meat? I think everyone has to decide for themselves what is the nourishment that they need to be healthy and happy, and then follow that. For sure, the tiger should eat meat. Have you ever seen a tiger eat? Have you ever seen the way it tears apart and drinks the blood and eats all those parts? I've never seen it cut a little piece and then put in and prepare some stuff. I've never seen like that. I've never seen the animal do that. I've never seen it. What I've seen is the ferocious ripping and tearing and eating the guts and all the parts in the skin, blood all over their face and everything like that. So for sure, I think life needs to be life. Let the snakes eat the rats, let the tiger, everything, let it eat that. For me, personally, like the beautiful, like the fruits and vegetables, these beautiful things and grains and seeds, that makes sense. I think our whole approach to diet and food is totally off. I think that definitely the meat industry is destroying the planet, where we're producing all of these crops to feed the animals, and then we've denatured the soil. There's so many byproducts that are created. Torturing life is not good. That doesn't lead to good stuff. When you're eating an animal that's been tortured, that torture and pain and suffering is then vibrationally somehow in there. And so taking that on is not something I want to do. But again, I am not in any position to tell anybody what to do. I do not want to do that. I take no responsibility for your life. Right? Everybody take responsibility for your own life. I'm simply pointing out this a system of understanding that is not mine also. This was passed down thousands of years. This tradition of yoga has been passed down from teacher to student over time. And so for me, if you were to ask me, it would be like eating meat would be like asking me to eat this table, right? This wood. For me, it's not even food. But in some cultures, this is very much a part of their life, and it's necessary. So food has to do with culture, has to do with habits and many things. So for me, what's important is something simple, digestible, nourishing, alive. Whole foods. I like to focus on eating whole foods, not eating carbohydrates and proteins and like this. I think this whole, again, this is a control and an obsessive compulsive thing we got with food now. Right? We're trying to control it and weigh and measure it, and it's no longer connected with the aliveness and the flow of life and the natural way. So for me, the question is not meat or no meat, it's what are the optimal conditions for me to be healthy and thriving and alive and connected. And so each one of us has to investigate and see. And it's best not to force ourselves based on some ideal, right? Oh, I should do this, and then we try to force ourselves and punish ourselves like that. No, live from what brings you passion, what makes you feel alive, what's your truth. That's important, because if we're trying to force ourselves to be someone else, this is real violence. This is terrible violence. We have our own rhythm. We have to grow according to that rhythm. At different times, we have different habits and different ways of living, and so we have to respect that. So I respect everybody's way, whatever they want to do, but I will share my truth from my experience. Okay, enough. Let's take a moment to be quiet. Sit back up. Find your center. Close your eyes and drop all the words. Forget all the words. All of the words are false. All of these ideas are false. The truth can't be spoken. These words are only to point you back to the center of your being. When you're at home in yourself, then everything is truth. When you're disconnected from yourself, then everything is false. So all I'm trying to do is to push you back into your truth, into the truth of being. Watch your breath. Come into sync with your breath, into rhythm with your breath. To be in rhythm with your breath is to be in love. We'll close chanting Om together one time. Inhale deeply.